Welcome. This There's a discussion I started in TikTok the other day about useless degrees, and I'm happy because so many people contributed into this discussion, and I was just laughing at the comments people were writing in that video, because truth be told, they are useless. They are countless useless degrees, diplomas, certificates. And one comment got my attention because one young person said that his neighbor who was doing a degree, when he finished and he could not land a job, he had to take his life. However graphic the comment was, but I dwelled on knowing what led to this person. I asked myself, what led this person to take their own life? And I got the answer in my mind. But many parents now will not understand this, or many people of my age will not understand what led me to make this conclusion. And if this rubs you badly, you'll forgive me, because I know everybody is chasing this paper, and given my papers are here, but they are kept in a shelf, like watu wale wengine, you just keeping them in a shelf as souvenirs, because most of us who did these degrees, diplomas, we've never ever used them. Just being kept. The knowledge is in the brain, but you never use them, because we don't want to do what is being done by other developed countries. In those countries, they are not chasing these useless degrees I'm talking about. Everybody is chasing something else, like a career in photography, search engine optimization. They are learning it online and implementing it. But what are we doing in our African setups? We are pushing each and every student to go and do a degree, and that's the reason why degrees are being university campuses are being opened left, right, and center, because these universities, the owners of these universities, know that everybody wants to attain a degree. Good, but don't you realize these are business people? These are guys in business, and coincidentally, these are the same people who are owning our industries. The Manu Chandarias of this world, they are the financiers of these universities behind the door. They're just the financiers. What you see in the public face is not what is behind there. Those guys, they finance the research in these, like Kenyatta University. You realize that these are the guys who fund this research in these universities. But when you go knocking into their door after now you finish your degree, that's the day you realize that you took a useless degree. And I don't want to use this word without apologies. And if you feel offended, it's okay for you to click away from this video, because I'll just tell you the truth. Most of the degrees being offered in our universities all over Africa, they do not have relevance to what is happening in the world right now, because the world is changing, things are changing, trends are changing, and we cannot keep on pushing our young people to do what was being done in the 1950s, 1940s. You cannot repeat what was being done in those years and still want to be successful. And when you finish, you start demanding for the same young people to get jobs, or you ask why are they not getting proper jobs. But we are not training our youths to be what they need to be, because Most of them, let me give you an example. I'm looking for something which I was holding. I'm looking for my tripod. I cannot see it, but let me ask you, does your child who is in university know how to use a gimbal, for example, let alone a tripod? If you ask them, how many times do you post in your social media per week? None. If you ask them, for example, there is Instagram, there is TikTok, there is YouTube, there is Facebook, there are these many platforms which have on our phones. If you ask them, apart from you looking at other people's content, what are you creating for yourself? Your guess is good as mine. Not doing anything, just scrolling, looking at other people's products, other people's content, but not creating their own. The ones who are creating, quite few. The ones who are consuming, it's a big number, but they are consuming these on borrowed time, borrowed airtime, without knowing that their age mates in other countries, in Europe, in North America, are creating their own lives on top of these social media platforms, becoming influencers. So let me give you an example. There's this degree I talked about in another video, and people castigated me because I said it is a useless degree. Then everyone was on my neck, trying to tell me how useful it is. Not refute. If you are able to become successful using your degree, it's your luck. But just know that so many people, so many young people are languishing in poverty with that same degree you have. It was just pure luck. And times have changed. Things have changed. It's not what used to happen in the 1980s, 1950s, 1990s, early 2000s. Things have now greatly changed. So it's time for us to show our young people the courses they need to take and the ones they don't need to take. And most of the courses in our universities are shitty, are useless. I don't know what is the correct way of communicating this message to you. If you're a young person, you're in a university somewhere, try and do something else apart from just studying for that degree. I'm not saying you leave the university. Maybe that is where your key is, but not likely. With the knowledge you get there in the university, create something for yourself. Because the world economies follow a certain pattern, and we started with agrarian revolutions of the Mesopotamia, which you study in primary school. Then we came to the Industrial Revolution that lasted some time. Big companies, big car manufacturing company, Ford, Mercedes, Land Rover, Range Rover were the companies of the future. But that had its own time, and a lot has changed since then. So you cannot still be stuck in the Industrial Revolution, which was of the 80s and the 70s, 80s and the 90s. Then the tail end was around 1990s. That is when there was the advent of social media platforms like Facebook and MySpace, and the ones which pioneered before they were eventually overtaken by other small companies. So we are in the Industrial Revolution, not industrial. We are in the digital revolution, and if you're a young person and you are not taking advantage of the industrial revolution, just know that you'll be lagging behind. I mean, and regardless whether you come out with that degree from the university, the employer will still ask you, can you bring do you have a social media following? How many people do follow you on Instagram? How many people follow you on TikTok? And how many people follow you in LinkedIn? Ask yourself, because that is where employers are looking for talent. LinkedIn. So they want to see how many people are following you. Can you able to convert these followers into sales? And this is understood. This is seen in your ability to talk with people. And most employers are not even looking at papers. They're interested in what money value can you bring to their companies. Otherwise, what I would advise most young people is to use the technology they have, the smartphones, the computers, the internet, and make use of the knowledge that maybe you gotten in the university, not to look for a job, but to do something with that smartphone. Do something with that camera, because I know most of you have better cameras. I'm recording this on a very cheap smartphone and see the quality. But we keep lying to these young people that they need these degrees, they need these certificates to be able to scale the job market. No, not necessarily. I know they need to master their ins and outs of living this world, maybe interactions, living the university with fellow students. That's the exposure they get. But the paper, I have a problem with that one degree called Assurio Science, and I'll give you an example. But I know there are so many degrees with the same problem. Assurio Science, they take the best from high school, maybe minus constant from KCSE. Then what happens? These guys, by the time they finish, they started while they are 100, but by the time they are finished, the finishing is just 3 or 4 people, less than 10, who finish at the same time. Maybe most of them have to repeat and rewind. It's a hard course, but when these guys finish and come to the job market, there are no jobs for them. We tell them go to the insurance companies and become an underwriter. I'm not saying underwriter jobs are bad, but this is something which can be done by someone who has done just a Bachelor of Commerce, which is otherwise for people who scored C- like me. Yes. So I would advise our young people, if I tell you have to go for higher education, let most of you do practical courses. Let them do computer programming languages. They become software engineers, and those are just skills. They don't necessarily require a degree, but they are skills which are marketable. They are usable. Our young people can monetize them. Even if they don't get jobs in these offices, they can do something with a computer. They can do something on Upwork. They can do something on Fiverr. They can do something in all these platforms where they connect freelance workers to jobs. But you telling them to go and look for a job in an industrial area? We are not in the industrial revolution. That That time has already passed. And we need to tell these young people, most of them, they are in my comments in TikTok. And I just say that I'll advise them through this YouTube, because most of them do not know what they are doing. And unless we give them the proper guidance, we'll still be telling them to go and do the degree, and we sell our land, we sell our cows, our goats, so that they go to university. And then we are telling them again, they need to look for a job in the Teacher Service Commission. Those were the things which were supposed to be done in the 1980s, 1990s. But 2023, 2022, no. They should be doing things differently, not the same way our fathers, our grandfathers used to do. And if you remember so well, since Kenya got independence, for example, and most African countries, I know they got independence around the same time, there was availability of jobs. Jobs were widely available because employers were sitting at the gates of the universities. When you graduate, you are picked and you become the manager of a company. But that is not happening anymore. Actually, for these young people to get what we call internship after they finish, it's a very tall order, telling them to go and look for internship only, just internship, which is unpaid. They have to use their own money. It's a tall order. And for people who are refuting what I'm saying, I don't know whether you are still pushing your children to go the same path I'm talking about. Maybe you're just saying, but in reality, it's not that way. It's quite unfortunate. But all is not lost. Let's embrace the technology which is there. Let's teach our children how to use a tripod, how to use a gimbal stabilizer, how to use a CapCut, how to use all these video editing softwares and photo editing, because that is where the money is. I want you to go and look at someone who is called Peter McKinnon. Peter McKinnon is just here he's doing his YouTube stuff. Peter McKinnon, I think some of you know him, and he's earning a lot of money from just photography. You know, we used to hear stories of young people like Zuckerberg and the likes, the early adopters of social media. They quit their degree midway to go and concentrate in bootstrapping their business. They were in their early 20s and they dropped out of campus. But we are just pushing our young people to finish campus, and when they finish, what happens? They get stuck. Then frustration sets in. They become losers. They become drunkards, and the next thing we see them riding borders, which I'm not saying is not a job, but they should not be doing such kind of job. They should be doing something else, because we invested in them in terms of the fees we were paying and supporting them through university. So I don't know whether we are communicating, because this is something which is deep inside my heart, and I'd want this message to reach so many people. So if you've listened to this video today, you see I'm talking in a very somber mood. You need to share this video to at least one person. Write a comment down here, so that it does something for the TikTok and the YouTube algorithm. It just likes people who comment, and so I'm requesting you to comment after you finish watching this, and subscribe if you've not, because we need to spread this word and tell our young people, do not repeat what was being done by your fathers, because truth be told, that is not the key to success. It's just one of the ways. It's not the ultimate key to success. A degree in criminology, I talked about it in another video, and it's quite unfortunate because that degree is not practical, and mostly I'm speaking in terms of Kenya because that is where I reside. But for people who did that degree, it's unfortunate because for them to land a job, it's not easy. And the few who have jobs by good luck came to my comments and started cheating me and rebuking what I'm saying, but without realizing that they are the few. And then I did this sneaky thing and went and told them I want them to give me 2 slots where they work, so that I send them other people who are in my comments to come and assist them to get jobs, but they never responded. Do you see how sad that is? Other degrees like tourism and hotel management. One thing since 2010, and I think this has happened since 2008 when there was this economic crunch. Mostly for Kenya, tourists stopped coming around 2010, and the tourist boom stopped, and tourism was the main export earner for the country. But since 2010, it collapsed, and we are still pushing our young people to go and do a degree in tourism. Thousands, maybe 10,000 of them, 100,000. Where will they get these jobs from? Where? Just tell me. Where do you expect them to get these jobs? Even if you push them to establish what we call tour farms, where are the tourists? Where are they? It's a dead industry. So it's only a fool who doesn't change with the times. But I believe our young people are not fools. It's just us, the parents, the older generation, which is not enlightening our young people and telling them at least not to do this, at least do that. So I know this video will reach maybe 100 people, maybe 200. If you get to if you get to see this video, what I can request you is to share it with any person you think it can help. Maybe share the knowledge, maybe share the video, depends on you. But the best you can do is just tap that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, because I have a big passion for young people, and I'll be giving them advice, opportunities, and whatever arises I see which can help them. And if you are not in either of my platforms, go into each platform and subscribe and follow. If it's TikTok, follow. If it's this YouTube, subscribe and ask me questions. I'll be readily available and I'll be answering them. I'll be giving guidance where I can. So check my videos are here. I'll attach them somewhere here so that you get the gist of what I usually do in my videos. So thank you for coming. Let's meet in another video.